What tragedy occurred in your hometown? I'm from Belton, Missouri. In 2007, 17-year-old Kara Kopetsky went missing. There were a lot of theories on what happened, but almost everyone expected foul play. One of the main suspects was Kyler Yust, but they didn't have sufficient evidence to charge him, especially since the body was never found. Fast forward 9 years to 2016. 21-year-old Jessica Runians goes missing. She was from Raymore, the town right next to Belton. They suspected Kyler again, but again they had no body. They did prove that Kyler burned her car after her disappearance. This pretty much sealed the deal for me, that it was definitely Kyler. Then, the following April, a man was mushroom hunting through fields surrounding Belton when he stumbled upon the remains of both Kara and Jessica. With the new evidence, they were able to charge Kyler, and his trial is scheduled this fall. R.I.P. Kara and Jessica. B. Kyler. Retired Dallas firefighter Michael Chambers went missing after shopping at Walmart for a few personal items and Mac-Up for his wife. Reports claim he went home then rode the bike all the way to a bridge that would have taken him at least an hour or so. All the while as he supposedly was riding his bike to the bridge. Mind you, he's an older gentleman. No one saw him at any point in time. In the middle of the day, which is impossible. He then is said to have threw his bike in the lake and jumped in as well to commit suicide. The bridge is almost level to the lake. His wife was allegedly having an affair with the county sheriff, who came up with this ridiculous theory declaring it as fact. The wife very quickly sold Mr. Chambers' vehicles and house, leaving town not even 6 months after he went missing. In order to get life insurance, Mr. Chambers needs to be declared dead. It appears that the county sheriff might have done just that, and many people in our small town believe that he allegedly helped her cover up Mr. Chambers' murder. That has never been proven. An independent investigation from another agency has tracked cell phone pings and went over the entire investigation into the missing retired firefighter and have concluded that the official report is impossible. An entirely new investigation has now begun, and we are asked to search our properties for human remains. We are a country town with the majority of the county residents owning many acres of land. It has affected our entire community and trust in our local law enforcement. My neighbor's son killed his mother and then himself in a psychotic breakdown. The son had suffered brain damage after several seizures, but there was no evidence or clear indications that the damage triggered mental instability until he blew away his mother. What makes it worse is that his sister was the one to find them. If she had been home though, she likely would have joined her mother. To top it all off, about 2 weeks before this, the father died of a heart attack in his sleep. Poor girl has no one left. Paul Bernardo and Kola Homolka abducted a child from my city, from my neighborhood, when I was a child. They raped, murdered, and dismembered her, then sealed the body parts in cement blocks. He also dumped other bodies in my city, after raping and killing them. Is rightfully rotting in jail. My senior year of high school, 3 girls died in a horrible car accident. They discovered that they had been racing another car full of boys prior to crashing in the woods and catching fire. They had to identify them by their dental records. Few years ago, a popular girl from my high school and her mom were pulling out of the Whataburger onto the main road that goes through my hometown when a Jeep going 90 in a 40 slammed into them. Killed the girl instantly, and mom has severe brain damage. Driver of the Jeep walked away with a couple of bumps. Everyone loved this girl, and her death hit a lot of people hard. Twice a year now, her birthday and the day of her death, my social media goes wild with posts about her and the family, and people will send the family gifts in her memory. Not my actual hometown, but I was living in Tapari when a guy beheaded a 4-year-old girl in public in broad daylight. The guy was high on drugs, and the mother of the kid was right there and saw everything. The location of the incident was only 3 minutes from where I stayed, and I would walk past it every day on my way to the MRT station. On that particular day, I even remember seeing 2 police cars, an ambulance and a white sheet on the road, but thought that maybe there was a car accident instead of such a horrific thing. 2 hours later, media was there in full force, and 4 weeks after there would be bouquets of flowers, pictures, candles, plush toys, etc. It was super heartbreaking and very scary. Random person in my area was walking towards a school playground attempting to bring a pipper bomb inside. He ends up accidentally blowing his head off right at the edge of the playground in front of all these kids. Luckily no one else was injured. Another incident, mayor's kid was killed during a hazing act at a local college. Pledges were made to sit in a hot tub and finish a 1.75 liter bottle of vodka between 4 or 5 of them at a time before being allowed to get out. They then continued with a run in the middle of the night that involved more drinking and physical activity. He died from alcohol poisoning. Used to live in Kermanshah in western Iran. We were bombed every night by Saddam. To this day, even hearing fireworks makes me run for cover. The most recent one was last month. The granddaughter of a family friend was out skeet shooting with her dad at the gun club. The gun didn't go off when she tried to shoot the clay pigeon. She rested the gun, but on the ground, against the table, and IDK exactly what she did to the gun, but she broke one of the most important rules. She looked down the barrel, and it went off. Point blank shot herself in the face with a shotgun. I can't imagine how her dad is ever going to get over it. It's just extra horrible emo, because she comes from a great family. She was only 15 years old. She was super active in school extracurriculars, smart, and friendly. She just made one terrible mistake. 2 kids were in one of their backyards making a pipe bomb by emptying out a bunch of MATS into a pipe at night by candlelight. One kid lost both arms mid-wrist and the other lost both eyes. Happened in a small town in Oregon a few years back when I was still in high school. 2 sisters were outside with their father in the evening, playing in piles of leaves on the street and sidewalks. The dad went inside to get the camera to take photos of the girls. When he did that, the sisters thought they would hide in the enormous pile of leaves and jump out to surprise the dad when he came back outside. In that minute or two of being in the house, someone decided to drive their car through the pile of leaves. The driver ran over both girls and fled the scene. The youngest, I believe was 7, was killed instantly. The eldest, I believe was 11, was hospitalized and died after a week in critical condition. It was gut-wrenching. It was especially sad, since I knew both girls and the mother, as they attended my same dance studio. A teen fell into a grain elevator. He died while his friend watched, unable to help. There was a story that made the headlines not that long ago. A young hunter that went hunting with a group of friends. During the day, while they were eating, they saw a boar, and he ran into the car to get the rifle. Eager to get his first shot, he didn't prepare his aim enough and missed. Not so far away, a couple was walking in a forest path, enjoying the fresh air of the mountain. The husband did not felt a thing when the bullet hit his head just between his eyes. After this, the young hunter received countless letters of threat for killing the man, and ended in depression and quickly followed by suicide. A gas pipeline exploded and killed 3 people. A good portion of the surrounding forest was torched as well. It's a miracle that more people weren't killed. I don't know if it's a tragedy, since people don't seem to care, but a series of young suicides started with a 12th grade kid in my high school hanging, followed by another teen jumping from a tall building and others. It didn't seem to affect anyone. However, I feel weird about it. I've told this story before, but whatever. Kid in my Cub Scout group. Didn't know him very well, but I saw him a lot. He was 7 years old. At home I'm eating lunch when my mom gets a phone call from the pack leader. He's letting everyone know that the kid and his father were dead. Their trailer had caught on fire, but then it turned out both of them were shot as well. This is where it gets freaky. Widely accepted story is that his father, who was mentally ill and off his meds, killed his son before setting the trailer on fire and turning the gun on himself. However, his father was a conspiracy theorist and amateur investigator, and a friend of his said that he was about to expose some kind of government scheme and was killed for it. Kid was killed for being a witness. Trailer was burned to destroy evidence. No one bought it until some radio report said that new evidence had surfaced of a double homicide, but even then everyone was skeptical. That was like 10 years ago. There haven't been any updates on it since. The case may not even be open. I still wonder about it sometimes.